Knockout round. Knicks handle business in Toronto. 117-101. Punch our ticket to Vegas. Sin City ain't ready for us. We already knew Toronto wasn't ready for us. Now, a showdown on Saturday night against the Orlando Magic. I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave. I'm joined, as always, by the First Lady. This is Knicks and Ish. It's time to talk that ish. So if you please.
Hit that intro.
Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it off from boom back to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic's ethnicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it. Welcome to precinct.
Fuck everybody on the front. When we see you in the finals, bring that same energy, nigga.
Yo.
You know, you got to do this part because I did the cold open. You got to do the Frag part.
I'm going to do it my way.
Fine. That's cool.
Let's see. Yo. I don't even know what he says.
You already know the vibe, Rick.
You already know the vibe. The Knicks won 117-101 in a good game against Toronto, where first quarter was pretty close, but the rest of the game the Knicks put belt to ass. But I'm Miss Knicks. I'm joined by Knickerbocker Ave. T-Time just texted me. He'll be in a few. Hit that like button. Sharing is always caring. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you haven't done so, well, no one has, but we do have the super chat. So if you want us to discuss anything, definitely hit up the super chat. But let's see who's already here. What up, Ty? Hey, sis.
we all, it's all love for Darlene.
Right.
The love is around.
What up,
Long
Marlon?
mayhem.
But we definitely appreciate y'all joining us. We know it's late, but you know, it was a late game today, so it had to be a late show.
You know what? Sometimes these late games, you know, can get annoying because then we're here late, but you know, it could be worse. We could have played in LA.
Facts. Right, the game just starting.
The game will be just starting now, and we'll be like, welcome to Knicks and Ish. It's not working. No, those ain't working. And we got to be up in the morning.
No, no lie. Like last season during the West Coast trip, I fell asleep a couple of games, and that's not like me.
So you already know what happened. New York Knicks knocked out the Toronto Raptors in the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup.
What up, T-Time?
My bad. I just woke up, y'all.
See? We already know that.
I woke up like, what the fuck is going on? Game off. Text messages from Anna. My bag. Continue to do what you was doing, Knickerbocker Ave. My bad.
I actually, you know what? I think that why don't you talk about a little bit about the parts that you did see? Obviously, you know the end result. The Knicks took care of business. But why don't you start us off in terms of the first half? I'm sure you saw the first half and how that transpired, you know, for you.
Yeah, I made it I think I made it solid through the third too.
Yeah, I thought so.
But I'm pretty sure Anna already used the line belt to ass for sure. You know, it did the first half, the first quarter started off a little bit rough. I was a little bit nervous because the Raptors came out playing hellified defense. It wasn't the offense. Their offense didn't really scare me too much. Their defensive effort was a little bit worrisome because they were really trying to get into the Knicks. But once we finally got our rhythm, uh, we started to pull away a little bit. Um, Jalen Brunson was absolutely on a motherfucking heater off the rip, off the muscle on the heater, just cooking. What 20? What do you have? 26 in the first half, 20 in the first quarter,
20 in the first quarter. Mm-hmm.
26 in the first half, and absolutely on the heater. Uh, and you know this is kind of on par for how we treat these Raptors, man. Well, that's 10 in a row, kicking their ass. You know what I mean? So it's kind of on par for what we do. Uh, Jalen Brunson absolutely needed to have that first half because we did not have it going offensively as a team. Uh, we definitely needed Jalen Brunson to carry us that first half into the rest of the first quarter, especially until the rest of the team could really pick up. Jordan Clarkson early in the game was pissing me the fuck off the rip. He's missing defensive assignments, like leaving, like literally getting lost, like stuck in the paint. Like, where am I supposed to go? And then his man is at the 3-point line,
Wide open.
booty wide open. Pause. Right, shooting 3-point shots, and then offensively he wasn't really cooking, and it was just a lot with him tonight that I wasn't happy with. Second half, the second quarter, second half, he really started to find himself. I think how much he finished with, like 13
12.
points, 12 points, 12 points. So he started to find his rhythm off the bench, but that first half was rough. Bodega with that poster, Jesus, that poster that Bodega had was fire.
Wrong one.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this too. Yeah, I mean, this might be a little bit off topic. You know, I hate watching basketball on Prime. It ain't just the Knicks.
Bro,
It ain't
it's
just
terrible.
watching the Knicks on Prime. It's watching basketball on Prime. That telecast is ass. The halftime show, ass. The fact that Udonis Haslam think he has the authority to change Cat's name is fucking horrible. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that he think, oh, I don't like Bodega, I'm gonna call him Thundercat. That is trash. Who told you it's okay to call Bodega Cat fucking Thundercat? That's trash. I'm gonna land the plane there. I just had to get that off my chest, pause. Because is horrible. Everybody on that fucking halftime show is boring, devoid of personality. It's just it's the worst. They're worse than fucking TNT and ESPN. And that's saying a lot because those guys are fucking trash too.
Facts.
We're gonna land the plane there. I'm sorry to get off topic, guys, but that was on my mind. From the start of the fucking game, I was like, I gotta when I get to the show, I gotta make sure I say this shit. Fucking
I was about ready to cue the music. I was like, are we opening with a rant? I'm like, what the?
I'm sorry. I just woke up. I don't know what's going on right now.
Every time I see a game on Prime, I'm like, oh my God, we gotta listen to these dudes. They just are so very boring. Haslam, Blake Griffin, like their voice has no personality.
It's sad when Udonis Haslam is the most charismatic person on the telecast. Like that is fucking sad because he's not charismatic. He's fucking country. You feel me? So it might come off as a little bit charismatic, but out of all the country people that's on TV and in sports commentary, he's ranked fucking last. It's horrible. It's horrible. Blake Griffin, as knowledgeable as Blake Griffin is, and I'm not going to take nothing away from him. When you actually listen to his commentary about the game, He absolutely knows what he's talking about. But it's like, listen to the fucking Clear Eyes guy talk. Who the fuck want to hear basketball commentated by the Clear Eyes guy? Nobody. Clear Eyes are awesome. They're playing great basketball. Wow. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Then tonight, they didn't have Dirk because Dirk is another fucking wet blanket of a commentator. They had John Wall, who was that John Wall? He looked like John Wall, but he looked like the nigga who ate John Wall. You feel me? John Wall fat as fuck. but he just sitting there the whole time like this. Not saying shit. And Steve Nash laughing. First of all, I don't want to hear shit. As great as a basketball player that Steve Nash was, as bad as he was as a coach, it avoids all that shit. I don't want to hear nothing he got to say. Yeah. Steve Nash can't tell me shit about basketball after watching that shit show that he did in Brooklyn. Had fucking 3 of the top 10 players in the NBA and shit the bed. I don't want to hear nothing he got to tell me about what teams need to do to win basketball games. Because when it came down to him being in charge of a team and telling them what they need to do to win basketball games, he didn't have a fucking clue. All right, I'm done. I'm seriously done this time. I'm sorry, y'all. Fucking hate watching basketball prime, y'all. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Not the LA Night Boys.
It's just horrible to watch that. I'm sorry. I don't really have any questions prepared because, like I said, I woke up out my sleep like the Undertaker. So
I don't have that gong.
Yo, this is exactly how. What the? But yeah, I mean, I don't know where y'all started, how far along y'all got before I put
in. Where you jumped right in.
Huh?
You jumped right in. We didn't talk about anything yet.
So I was the first person, and I just off the rip just started coming in. All right, so I guess I could start by asking the panel, give me your opinion of the game. It's just very simple. You know what I mean? Knickerbocker Ave, talk to me.
Obviously, I think this was a very solid win. I feel like the Knicks took care of business. It was a playoff. It was almost playoff atmosphere. It definitely had that because I think I said that in our group chat. These two teams do not like each other, and you can tell they don't. There's definitely some bad blood. There's definitely some kind of like animosity, and it's just great for the sport because they're playing for something. They're playing for their trip to Vegas and advancing in the standings of the NBA Cup. I enjoyed it. I thought Toronto stepped up to the challenge in that first quarter, and midway through the second. But once the Knicks started to get some advantage and increased up their defensive intensity, they took care of business. And every time that Toronto seemed to cut the lead anywhere to under 13, Captain just had an answer for them. Josh Hart had an answer for him. Defensively, OG and Mikal had an answer for them. And so, you can make all the excuses for Toronto all you want. Oh, they were out RJ, they were down Emmanuel quickly. Yeah, we got that. But we're also still down, guys. And the fact that, guys, our guys are getting back healthy and the defense looks a lot more polished. It looks a lot more effective and efficient. I cannot in any way, complain about that. I'm happy that the Knicks starting to look like a team that we all think they can be. They're showing their potential, and to take down a Toronto Raptors team that was, that's still doing pretty good this season. I think they're 16-8 or something like that. And they're at the top of the standings of the Eastern Conference for the most of the early part of the season. So to knock them down a peg again, that's huge.
That's a fact, especially with a Brandon Ingram who's been on absolute fire since he started getting some of that gorilla booty. You feel me? He's a different guy now. He started. He got
31 points.
Yeah, he got with gorilla. He started being on demon time every night. Yeah, sis, talk to me.
I thought it was a solid game. I mean, I feel like when the offense isn't running super fast and we're playing what we know as Knicks basketball pace, we look good, and our defense looks better. I think we said it, or T-Time said it a few shows back. The Knicks have chosen to, try to outshoot teams, which then, our defense lacks. In games like today, where the pace looks a little slower, our defense looks good. I think these games are great games, especially for us to see, because this is the pace of playoff basketball, right? Playoff basketball is not going to be shooting 100 shots, 105 shots a game. Playoff basketball is intense. Playoff basketball is slower. The amount of pressure that they put full court for most of that second half on our guys, that's playoff basketball. And to see the guys not crumble and to see them, keep the lead was important. The fact that our worst quarter for most of the season, the second quarter, we absolutely murdered them. 34-13 in the second quarter. That's what you call belt to ass, Tim's to ass tie, if that's what you want us to say. But that was good to see, especially because the first quarter was up and down, up and down. We threw a jab, they threw a jab. We threw a jab, they threw a jab. And we just came out in the second quarter and just took over the game and never looked back. I like Knickerbocker said, the fight. Every time they tried to make a run, we had an answer, whether it was JB, whether it's Macau, whether it was Josh. Assists were down. They were at 19, I think, today, but it was a much slower pace. And, JB had to take over in that first quarter, like you said. One thing that I'm loving more and more as the games go is Josh. Like, we love Josh. But Josh, being this offensive demon, they called him an offensive assassin, a three-point assassin. Like, that is great to see. And it was funny because I was texting my homeboys during the game, and he said, Josh better leave his finger just the way it is. And I just thought that was funny because he's shooting like career best with a broken finger. But once you see a couple of his three-point shots go down, you're like, yeah, this is our game. Like, that's how I feel. This is our game.
If his hand is still broken and it heals and he starts shooting like shit, I'm going to break his hand again. Fuck that. We need that hand broken.
Speaking of Josh, right? That's like a perfect segue. I agree. Josh is absolutely on one of the best stretches in his career offensively since he's been reintegrated into the starting lineup. So that begs the question, right? Once the Knicks are completely healthy, full roster, did Josh earn his starting spot back? Sis.
Absolutely. I mean, I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And him in the starting lineup ain't broke. I think you leave it alone, especially since teams clearly are doing hack-a-mitch in games that don't really matter, right? We only 20-something games in the season. And so if teams want to play like that, then we're going to show them, right? I think Josh being in the lineup, in the starting lineup, especially shooting as great as he's shooting, makes this team really dangerous. Because defenders can no longer look at him and say, okay, I can go and help, defend JB, or I can go and help and defend Cat, or, if Macau is hot, go help and defend Macau. Now you can't leave Josh open because he's going to take the shit. We knew he had it in him from the playoffs, but even still, he never was, at least to me, this offensive minded where he's looking for it. He's daring you to not be in his face so he could shoot. He's even in certain games pulled up and shot in dudes' faces. Like he's that nigga. So no, I think he's earned it. I think it makes our starting lineup more deadly. So yeah, I think if it ain't broke, until this shit shows us it don't work, you leave it alone.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Josh is different. Nigga back ass talk to me.
Josh Hart is actually making a case. I think I read an article and I shared it with the group from the New York Post, from the New York Times, where OG and McHale were making bids for possibly an all-star appearance. You might as well throw in Josh Hart in that mix. And it's like no cap. This is not, delusional Knick fan talk. You tell me who else is that deserving right now in terms of performance. We're not talking about name recognition. We're not talking about popularity contests. I'm talking about look at the stats. Look at what he's been able to do. If at anything else, he's definitely in line for maybe most improved in some way, shape, or form. I mean, the guy has improved his 3-point shot and is keeping the defenses so honest. Because anytime that you don't, he's taking that shot and he's making it in an efficient. I mean, he's being much more wiser with his shot selection. He is keeping his court vision 100% accurate. He's reading the defense, and he's still looking out to make that pass. The guy, we already know what kind of a rebounding machine he is. He's also a very good passer. Now you add this other facet to the game. How much more dangerous is Josh Hart become this year in comparison to last year and compared to years past? And then you add this to this team with, you already know what Jalen Brunson is. You already know Karl Anthony Towns is. You know what OG and McHale do. You add and put this into the starting lineup. Yes, we all love the starting lineup. When you had the two bigs, it worked in some ways and it didn't work in other ways. This lineup is probably the most optimal lineup that you're going to get out of the Knicks because, one, they're familiar. They played most of the season last season this way. And two, you're looking at a much more improved and much more efficient offense that you just didn't have last year. They're getting up and down the floor a whole lot easier. They're making more passes. They're making more cuts. And the best part about the adjustment is, and Sis mentioned it, they're playing more efficiently, not just relying on jump shots. That's the best part.
Yeah, we're gonna lean into that a little bit more in a second. I just want to agree with both of y'all. Like, remember, I was the one when we asked this question: how does the starting lineup change? And I was one of the people that said Deuce should stay in the starting lineup. I'm so happy to be wrong. I'm so happy to be wrong, and happy that Josh Hart is proving me wrong tonight. What he was 21.6 rebounds. That's tough. That's tough. Marlon was good, my geyser. That's tough. Josh Hart and his versatility as a basketball player. He's the most versatile player on our team. You know what I mean? When it comes to not only his offensive improvement, he's a solid defender, and his hustle is off the chart, and he's the third best rebounder on our team. You know what I mean? Mitch being 1, Cat being 2, Josh Hart number 3, and the rest is not even close. You feel me? Like, so he's the most versatile player on our team, and we've seen we all knew that he had the ability to be a good 3-point shooter. I don't think none of us thought that he could be this good at 3-point shooting, but when teams have dared him to shoot, he's absolutely cooking. We could go all the way back to the Philadelphia series in the playoffs when he had that huge game from 3-point range because they dared him to shoot. And it kind of translates now because when you look at the starting lineup, you don't want to leave Cat open from 3. You don't want to leave JB open from 3. You don't want to leave McCall open from 3 because he's having a career year shooting. OG has always been around 40-something% from the corners. Like, so when you look at it, you're like, yeah, we're gonna leave Josh. We're gonna leave Josh. And then now Josh is like, all right, I'm gonna shoot that shit. Yeah, I know he's fucked up. I'm gonna shoot that shit.
It was like, yo, hold my beer.
and Sis mentioned is shot selection. He's not out there just chucking threes. He's taking the wide open ones, or he's hitting some grenades because he's already in rhythm. You feel me? Like those 2 seconds left on the clock, I got to make a step back, shoot a 3. He's making some of those too because he's already in rhythm with the game, and that includes him getting to the cup, him being aggressive in transition. Tonight, I was almost mad at him because in the first quarter, I was like, "Is son about to just catch cardio tonight?" Because Josh Hart was not he finished with 21 points, but I promise you he finished that first quarter with 2. And I'm like, oh, so bro just not gonna be. And the point that he got in the first quarter was on like a trailing, like put back. Like it was a fast break, somebody missed. I think it was McCall, and he got the putback. But other than that, he was being super non-aggressive and non-confrontational on the offensive end. And I turn around, I'm like, oh shit, he started wilding, shooting 3-pointers, going to the cup. I'm like, okay, that's the Josh that we need consistently. Because if Josh is on the court and he's not being aggressive offensively, he is more of a negative than he is a positive. And shout out to Josh for absolutely kicking ass. I agree with Knickerbocker Ave saying that he is in, if he keeps this up, he is in possible all-star territory. Definitely coach's decision, of course, because he's not going to get the votes. Definitely going to have to be coach's decision. We have to stay in second place or take first place. Happen because JB and Cat is absolutely getting voted in. And then it's still the argument to be made for McCall. You feel me? But McCall he's kind of on the slide right now offensively. He got to kind of step that back up. But this is a great problem to have that possibly might be 3 to 4 Knicks as on an all-star team that you could make an argument for. OG got hurt, so we don't know what that looks like, but still. But moving on, right? It was something Knickerbocker said, and I said we was going to get into that later. Do you remember?
What, the most improved?
Nah, it wasn't that. It's going to come back to me. Got something else, though.
It will. It always does.
Yeah. The Knicks shot 53% from 3 tonight, making 16 of them. I forgot how many we shot, but I know we made 16. That's
16 for 35.
16 for 35. God damn. You feel me?
Blasphemy! Blasphemous!
So the question is this, right? Though we're shooting less than what the original goal was, right? Mike Brown's original goal for this team was 43s a night. 36 ain't too far. It ain't too far, but it was good shooting night. I'm not mad at it. It's a good shooting night. So I'm not mad that we shot 36, but my point is this. Does this feel like Mike Brown getting a feel for who the team actually is? Or are the players just going rogue saying that, fuck that, we're going to play the way that we need to play and not take 43s a night? Who started last? Sis or Nickelback? I can't remember.
I did.
I think. Oh, okay. To be honest, I don't know if it's really the team going rogue. I think that the team is starting to just react to what the defense is giving them. If the energy is there and the opportunities are there, I think that they're just going to play basketball the way they know how to play basketball. Like this starting unit with Josh Hart and OG, Mikal, JB, and Towns. They're familiar. They know what it takes to get the game started, to build out on a lead. So the fact that they're familiar with the situation and all they really did was just turn up the tempo a little bit. I think that Mike Brown's system is starting to adjust slightly to the personnel that he has in front of him. I think I said this a long time ago when Mike Brown, was first announced as our new head coach. Things were going to get testy. Things were, there are going to be some struggles. There are going to be some moments where we're going to be like, what is this going on? And maybe, the Knicks have turned the corner. Time will only tell as the season progresses. However, right now, it looks like, with the little bit of extra emphasis on the defensive end, which is, what we've been begging for, for weeks, I think that the energy on both sides of the ball are now starting to level itself out, and now you're starting to see what this team is really, its ceiling is and what's its potential. So, to answer your question, I think that Mike Brown's offense is starting to be adjusted and it's starting to become more tailor made for this team and its personnel.
I agree. I agree with that, sis. Talk to me.
I think I agree with that as well. I think initially it was the Knicks that said, screw this, it ain't working, and just kind of did, what they knew would win games, especially after he made that stupid ass comment that we didn't take enough threes when we won. I think it was against Toronto too, right? So that comment's not leaving my head. So I think initially the Knicks took it upon themselves to do what win games. And I think now, since we're not hearing stupid comments like that, he's adjusted his game plan. 35, like you said, isn't far off from 40. The biggest thing for me is that those 35 didn't look forced, right? So like when we were taking the 40, 42 threes, it looked like we were forcing it. Like every shot was a three. The Knicks were not trying to shoot into the paint, in the paint. Everything was that, break down the defense, kick out the three. Now you see guys, taking it into the paint. Jordan Clarkson, for example, he's been on a shooting slump, and he's very effective with that little floater in the paint. And he's been doing it, and he did it all game today. They can't stop it. Mikal, same thing. Our guys are inside playing guys. They can shoot the three, yes, but they all take it into the paint and are very effective. So I think, yeah, he's adjusted because he's had no choice. He sees, what's winning games. The worst thing you want to do is, reprimand the team for doing not what you want, but still winning games. Then your ass will be packed up out of New York real quick. And I mean, hopefully, we continue to see adjustments. Like the pace. The pace doesn't need to be that fast pace. Yes, we're moving the ball more. Yes, that's cool. But we don't need, like I said, we shot 80 shots today, and we blew them out by 16. You know what I mean? And this ain't no trash ass team. This ain't the Raptors. This ain't the Hornets or Brooklyn. You know what I mean? This is a contending team. So yeah, I mean, whatever it takes to win, to be honest. And I think that's the mindset he needs to have as a coach. See what works, keep doing that until it don't work no more.
One of the things that rings off in my mind after I asked that question was him saying that, sometimes, he sees things one way and everybody else sees it another way. and he has to admit that he's wrong if everybody else is seeing this and he's not. And I think that was one of those things. I think the team was like, yo, I understand you want us to shoot 43s, but yo, we get buckets. You feel me? Like, yo, I get buckets. I'm a bucket getter. I can shoot the mid-range. You know what I mean? I could get to the cup. And I could do that effectively. And a lot of our guys, like Mrs. Nick said, like they could go and score other ways. You know what I mean? I said this before that we got bucket getters on this team. We don't really have 3-point specialists. We have bucket getters. You know what I mean? JB bucket getter, Cat bucket getter, Josh Hart when he wants to be bucket getter, McCall bucket getter, OG bucket getter, Jordan Clarkson off the bench bucket getter. You know what I mean? Like we have a team full of bucket getters, and those guys can shoot 3-pointers. They can shoot the three, but that's really not their primary function. And you have to allow a team like this to do the things that they're great at doing. And they're great at being multi-level scorers. You feel me? Multi-level scorers, you got to be able to beat what's good, what's good. You gotta let the team do what they're good at. Because if you trying to force a triangle into a square hole is never going to work. And you saw that early on.
T, please don't ever mention the triangle around me again. I'm still traumatized from Phil Jackson. Please stop that.
Phil Jackson, it was Hornacek. Oh, Jesus. Jack Fisher. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Nasty times. Nasty times.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is this, right? Not to get super sidetracked. I believe it couldn't work if Phil was the one coaching.
Oh, no one's arguing. No one's arguing that point.
If Phil was the one coaching, I think the triangle could work. But you're going to get Jeff Hornacek, somebody who's never ran the shit. He's never ran a triangle.
Never played in it either.
And then Derek Fisher never coached a day in his life. It don't make sense. But anyway, I don't want to get too sidetracked into traumatic times and go down that depressing era of life of Knick fandom, you know, because we are on the bigger and better things, greener pastures. You feel me? But yeah. Damn, what was it? It was something else. Damn. Mick Barker, you said something too I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember for the life of me what it is. But anyway.
Take a sip first.
I took several sips. It's still not good.
It'll jog the memory.
But there are other things that we can talk about besides the game. No. Before we do that, we have to talk about the cap. You know what I mean?
But before we do that, we have to do something else.
Divulge a little bit more into what the cap has been doing lately, especially in the cup games. I know my guy Knickerbocker like to call it the sippy cup. I want to win fucking everything. I don't care. But in the cup games, he's averaging like 33 points a game or some wild shit.
That is true. So, could we please just tell all our great viewers, there's about 14 or 15 of y'all, please continue to like, subscribe, and sharing is always caring. And if you haven't already done so, cop yourself some merch here at the Knicks and His Shopify. I know I sound like I'm just, pining our stuff, but hey, sharing is caring. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to get there. We're on our way. So please continue to show your support, show your love. We love you. We thank each and every one of you. But Tea Time, you were saying.
I was saying the cap is awesome. That's what I was saying. The cap is awesome. He was averaging an absurd number of points in these cup games.
I think it was like 33.2 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Shooting at 49% or something like that.
It definitely went up tonight. Definitely went up. Point whatever. It went up. You know, so the question I was getting ready to ask before my guy Knickerbocker did what needed to be done, because it needed to be done.
Yeah.
We already know JB is a top 10 player in this league. And if you don't think so, you're a hating ass mofo, and I hope nothing good happens to you. But
Oh, he's not here today because Miami lost again.
oh, you know, for sure. Oh, they out of the cup too.
Bye.
And they got belt the ass. Belt the ass tonight. Desmond Bain did them filthy. I was
And they
watching that
was
game.
up big in the first quarter.
Yeah, they was up like 16-0 or some shit.
It was like 18-2. 18-2 for a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, we ain't, you know, that's what happens. You know, their team loses, they don't love us no more. It's sad, right? But my question is this: he's already a top 10 player. How close is JB being to top 5? Sis.
He is my top 5.
Mm.
I don't give a damn about nobody else. He's number 1 to me. I mean,
I'm not
talent-wise,
surprised by that answer. I shouldn't have expected anything else.
I mean, talent-wise, other guys got talent. That's cool. But doing it on the biggest stage says a lot, right? Like, you got guys like Shea, who clearly is, talented, but you're doing it in Oklahoma City. Like,
I'm sorry to interject, sis. You mentioned Shea. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is exactly who they think Jalen Brunson is.
Everybody, yeah, I know. I had to tell somebody about themselves yesterday.
They say JB's a foul beta. He is the most egregious foul beta I've ever seen since prime James Harden. I'm sorry, sis.
No, you see. I sent the screenshot yesterday because I had to go in on some people on X because they said that Shea and Jalen ruined the game of basketball for them because they're foul baiters. Well, Jalen Brunson's actually 22nd in the league in free throw attempts, which means he ain't getting as much as y'all think. You know what I mean? While Shea, on the other hand, I think he's like number 2 behind Luka because people clearly forget Luka's right there. But no, he's number 1 to me. I don't give a damn about no other player. The fact that he's 6 feet with sneakers on, leading the New York Knicks, who haven't won shit in 50 plus years, in the best city in the world. You know what I mean? With a team that was organically really put together, and carrying us every night and breaking records, in the few years he's been with us. He's number 1 to me. No, but realistically, he's top 5 already in my book.
Knickerbocker.
You have to really think about when you say top 5, who's in that company? I mean, Shea comes to mind. Joker comes to mind. Then it has to be JB. I think JB is definitely.
People still going to put LeBron in that, but LeBron is in the decline. They're going to put Giannis in that. Giannis is in decline.
All right. I agree with you on LeBron. I do not agree with you on Giannis. I think Giannis is still, if he's not 3, he's definitely 4. And then the 5th one could be a toss-up because a lot of people would say it'd be Ant. A lot can be said it'd be Wembanyama. A lot of people would say, I mean, some people will still say Steph Curry. And so is he in that company? I mean, tell me who's better than him.
Maddie said Luka.
Luka Doncic. All right. I'll concede that, but then you have to put then you by default you put Jalen Brunson at 6, and that's where he stands in terms of the top 5, because a lot of these guys have name recognition, so popularity and international appeal do play a factor in this. So a lot of attention is being placed on him, just the same way as JB has a lot of attention placed on him playing in New York. When you take all that aside, look at just skill, efficiency, performance, numbers, and of course, team. The team's recognition and the team's performance. He has to be up there. I mean, how could you not put him up there? He's definitely top 10. But if he's not in the top 5, he's probably just 6. Or if you really want to go 5A, he's probably behind Luka, not by much.
I mean, I think if you're gonna say Wembanyama or Ant, you then have to ask, what have they done for their teams? Where have they taken their teams? Nowhere that Jalen hasn't taken the Knicks.
Well, Ant took the Timberwolves to the Western Conference Finals, so I'll give him that. Once.
They haven't gotten progressively better every year because of him, though.
No, that was because the cat was over there. Now he's on our team.
Mm-hmm. These are all these things true. Here's my 2 cents. Think JB is absolutely top 5, and here's why. Right? I agree with most of Knickerbocker's list. You got Joker. I think Joker is the best basketball player in the NBA right now. Then I would have to give it to. I said Joker. I would have to give it to. I want to say Giannis. The team is not really great around him, but he's still a phenomenal talent and something like, especially he's one of those people that you know exactly what he was going to do, and you still can't stop it. You know he's going to the cup. You know he's not trying to shoot, but you're still hopeless to stop what he wants to do. And not only that, he's a phenomenal offensive talent. Defensively, he's a stalwart as well. You know what I mean? So I got to give it to Giannis at number 2. I forgot who else was on Knickerbocker's list, but the one person I'm kicking off that list, right?
I think he said Steph Curry that you agreed with.
No, I didn't agree with Steph Curry.
Oh,
I agree with Steph Curry. I think
Anthony Edwards.
I didn't. Anthony Edwards is up there too.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, I don't agree. I didn't agree with your list as much as I thought I did.
Okay.
Fuck both of those guys. I think today, Jalen Brunson overall, obviously Steph Curry overall is better, like career-wise overall is better than Jalen Brunson. But today, both of those players today, I'm taking Jalen Brunson over Steph Curry. I'm taking Jalen Brunson over Shea. And the reason why I'm saying that too as well, and that might be a hot take, is because I hate Shea's game. I hate Shea's game. If they called the game for Shea the right way, the way that the game is supposed to be called, or close to any way they call the game for everybody else, right? If Shea was held to the same whistle and standards as the rest of the NBA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander would be a 22-point per game scorer at the best. At best. Maybe 20.
And fouled out of every game.
Maybe 20, because he would definitely, them offensive fouls will pile up quicker than a motherfucker. Because every time he sees contact, he's pushing off with that off arm. And it's over-exaggerated. A lot of players do it. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, it is blatant push-offs. Full arm extension push-offs. And they're like, oh my God, look at the separation he creates because he's fucking cheating. What are you talking about? Look at the separation he created. He's cheating. And I say this because I'm not a highlight watcher. I watch basketball. I'd rather watch basketball than watch a TV show. unless it's one of the fire ones. Pennywise, the dairy shit, I'm locked in. I'm locked into that dairy shit for sure. I tune in when that stupid ass music come on. Oh, some kids is about to get killed. Some kids is about to get killed. Yeah, I'm locked in. But anyway, I'd rather watch basketball than I would rather watch TV. So I tune into a lot of Suns game because yes, my dumb ass did buy League Pass. You feel me? Because I like basketball. You feel me? So I got League Pass.
How's
So
that cable bill going?
So League Pass does have monthly. I'm paying. It's like I pay for it just like I pay for like Netflix or some shit. You feel me? So I didn't do the whole. I'm paying $100 and something, even though it's probably cheaper overall, but it just feels better because if I don't feel like paying it, I could be like, good. I'm good on League Pass. I'm gonna watch StreamYard on my motherfucking iPad. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, I watch a lot of basketball, and I watch Shea play, and it's horrible basketball. It's horrible. It's hard to enjoy watching him play basketball. A lot of times, I will have to change the channel because I'm like, this is disgusting. This is not basketball. This is the same reason why I never like watching James Harden play basketball in his prime, because it's not basketball. This is, I'm cheating the system to get to the foul line, and I'm going to win that way. Same reason why I never like watching Joel Embiid play basketball. He's the fucking same way. He more looks to those are the type of players who look more to get fouled than they are actually trying to score the basketball. So this is why he's not in my top 5. This is why JB towers over Shea. They call JB a foul baiter, but that's not true. Because really, he's supposed to be in way more fouls than what he's getting. Like tonight, he shot a 3. I forgot what the little short guy with the braids or dreads.
Barnes, I think it was Barnes.
He bumped right into him on his back. Paul.
That is what you're talking about.
Yep.
The shot went in. That was supposed to be an and one, 4-point
That's supposed to
play.
be a 4-point play. Yep.
People
And he even looked at the ref and it's like,
people literally grabbed this man's jersey all game, chasing him around, holding on the jersey. He's getting separation, and you literally see the jersey being pulled off his body, and still no foul calls. JB is if not yet, the greatest, one of the greatest 6-foot basketball players who ever stepped on the court. Because what he does and what he means to his team, what he does down the stretch of basketball games, I'm being super long-winded. I'm sorry, y'all. What he does down the stretch of basketball games, it's unparalleled. It's only a very few people in the history of the league that you can compare to what he means to the clutch of a basketball game. I mean, he doesn't have an elite stint like most of those guys, but in this short period of time as a Knick, it's comparable to some of the greats in the clutch and what he means to the Knicks. That's why, in my eyes, he's top 5. Let's move on to different topics.
Actually, while we're about to move into the next topic, everybody in the chat, let us know who's your top 5 league-wide. Don't even. It doesn't have to be Knicks bias. You can just be honest and tell us what you think. Your top 5 and go.
Yeah, big facts. Trying to figure out 2 topics I wanted to talk about that's kind of not on the itinerary. Excuse me. So we're going to talk about the cup, because that was one of Knickerbocker topics that he wanted to talk about tonight. What the actual topic was, how much does it mean for the Knicks to win?
How much does it mean for not just the Knicks, but for the city of New York and for everyone? Like, for 3 years now, and if anybody, if you follow me or if you heard me on various platforms, we jokingly refer to as the Sippy Cup. It was a made up idea that has that when it first came out, it didn't have any importance, it didn't have any significance. It was just another marketing ploy that Commissioner Bobblehead came up with, to generate interest and to generate more revenue. This is year 3. The Knicks are now in the semifinals. They're going to take on Orlando at 5:30 on Saturday, and it will be interesting to see if they can get past Orlando and then move on to the championship round. But if they win it, what does it mean to you? I mean, I know what it means to me, but maybe, T, why don't you start off this one? What does it mean to you?
Knickerbocker is Knickerbocker. We here. I was like, since because you starting this one, I think I'm gonna. Since you setting up the topic, I think I'm gonna start this one. And I like that. Yeah, I know y'all heard me say this before. I want to fucking win everything. Everything. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. If I'm competing, if my team is competing, I want to fucking win, and I don't care how anybody else feels about it. Because what we do this for, we play the game to fucking win. And that means winning everything. I refuse to have any fan of the New York Knickerbockers that I love tell me that winning the cup means nothing. You know why? Because we haven't won shit in 50 plus years. So yes, this is very important to me because we haven't hoisted any trophy in 50 plus years. So even if it's the fucking cup or the sippy cup, whatever you want to call it, I want to see the Knicks hold that shit up. I want to see confetti fall from the fucking sky. And I'm going to talk hella shit. It's not the NBA championship. I know this, well aware of it. But somebody has to win it. Somebody has to win it. It's there. Somebody has to win it. Somebody's going to win it. Why not fucking us? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Listen, I am the kind of person, if coming in first place is a thing, I'm trying to be first place. I don't give a fuck what it is. We could be talking about, we're speed walking down the block. I'm trying to be first. Fuck what you talking about? We play video games in the crib. I'm trying to win. Thanksgiving, we was at my bro house. We was playing Scrabble on Netflix because Netflix got the Scrabble thing going. I was trying to win that shit like it was the Super Bowl because that's who I am. I want to fucking win. I want to be number one in everything. So I'm going to let it play there. It's very important, obviously, if you didn't gather that from me by now.
Sis?
I think it's important for a number of reasons. I think, to have the guys believe that they can win something, right? That's the most important. And continue to win. I mean, these games are really intense games. So you go back to, them playing these games like they're playoff games and showing us what they can do in those situations. So that's why I think it's important. And regardless of what Knicks fans say, oh, it's not important, it's not a championship, the city's going to go insane if we win. They shut down 33rd for playoffs. If we win, I'm sure 33rd is going to be insane, regardless of it not being a championship and only the cup. But I'm with T-Time. I want to win. I want to win every game. I don't want to lose any games. But I want the guys to believe that their style and what they're doing on the court can win us something. So yeah, we need to win. I mean, like I said earlier, Toronto isn't an easy opponent. We know the Magic ain't gonna be an easy opponent. So we'll see.
I think that the NBA Cup is starting to grow on me. I mean, obviously, like I said, I called it the Sippy Cup, and now that it's starting to actually develop some drama and some very good basketball all around. I mean, that's just the thing. It's doing exactly what you wanted it to, what Commissioner Bobblehead wanted to do. It was to create more basketball games that are meaningful, entertaining, and there have been a lot of good games. So the fact that that this trophy exists, so far the first two winners, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks, they won them. They didn't do shit with it after that, but maybe we can go for the sweep. NBA Cup, Larry O'Brien. And that's the way you assert your dominance. That's how you know that this is what Tea Time has said, what Sis has said, what Kev has said, what Fraz has said, how I opened this season. And I've said this so many times. The season of destiny. The season that everyone on this panel and a lot of you in our chat and all of our subscribers and a lot of our followers, we've waited our whole lives for. Unless if you're over 50 something, then you've seen the last one. I haven't. And it hurts my heart because I still remember 94. I remember 99. I remember, Roy Hibbert blocking Carmelo Anthony in 2012. I still remember losing to Miami a couple of years ago. I still remember, losing to Indiana 2 years in a row. There have been times where I'm like, it happens. So when somebody tells us, calls us bums, like, some troll out there, sometimes I have to eat it. But I'm not doing that this season. We're taking the cup and the Larry O'Brien. And it's a wrap.
Yeah.
New York, we here. Finally.
The players said it. If you have a chance to win something, you win it. You feel me? And that's a sentiment I want to hear from the players. Like, they're not overselling what it means to win the cup, but the understanding that if it's something to be won in this game that we play, you go out there and try to win it. You play the game to win. Like, that's what we're here for. We're not here for consolation prizes. You're here to win. And to hear that being echoed throughout the team, that's dope, right? Fucking, I had something else I wanted to say too, but I don't feel like I'm all the way awake still. There was something about the cup, can't remember, but whatever. Moving on.
Yes, Jeremy, we're well aware of that. Thank you, Jeremy, for pointing that out. Yes, he is absent due to the fact that you know why. Thank you.
What happened? Who's absent? What are you doing? Oh, the troll. Oh yeah. You know. Listen, man. Nobody else has love for us when their team loses. You feel me? They only love us when the Knicks lose and their team win. Big fan Breezy. That's my guy. That's my actual friend. I like that guy as a person, but he only here when the Nets win and the Knicks lose. And you notice this season he's never been here. He hasn't been here
for a while.
Like, where has he been? Remember, like other seasons, the last 3 seasons, My guy was here often. The Knicks lose, he'll show up. Oh, the Knicks, call himself trolling. I kind of miss my friend, but not really, because we're winning. But I kind of miss my friend. He's not here anymore. But
APB out for him. We got to check. We got to do a health and comfort. We got to make sure he's okay.
It's the same thing like when I go into work, right? I wear Knick gear every day. Every day I'm wearing something the Knicks, right? When we win, nobody says anything. No, except for other Knicks fans. I get high fives. That game was crazy. We did our thing, that boy JB. But soon as the Knicks lose, all the Knicks haters, they come out the woodworks at work. Oh, the bum ass Knicks. Oh, I'm like, yo, bro, you haven't spoken to me in weeks. We was on the winning streak. You haven't spoken to me in weeks, but now here you are. Now you know me again, huh?
T, I got a personal question to ask you, because you and I kind of have the same issue. But don't it feel like when the Knicks win, we're winning, but when the Knicks lose, even the Knicks fans look at you like, yo, what happened? Like, I'm supposed to know exactly. Like, I played the game and I missed the shot.
So that is very true, right? They do that, but is a reason they do that. I feel like there's a reason they do that with me. Like, once people get to know me enough, especially when I'm at work, right? I try not to promote the podcast crazy at work, right? And that's because I just think too many people push shit on people at work, and I don't never want to be that person. So people do find out that I do the pod. There's been people who's actually stumbled across the pod on their own and be like, oh shit, yo, I didn't know you did a Knicks podcast. And when they find out, now I'm the official news guy for them. I become their information system. So now it's like the Knicks lose. They're like, yo, bro, tell me what happened. Why did we lose? Because, and I take that as a sign of respect. That means you've seen the content, you respect my idea and the way I approach and think about the game, and you want that insight. And I give it to them. Pause. Right? Like I give them that insight because I'm like, yo, I do feel like I have a superior knowledge about the Knicks. You do need to hear what the fuck I need to say about why we lost or why we won. Because I'm a fan. I watch the game as a fan, but I also watch the game as an analyst the day after. You feel me? Like, I am watching the game and picking apart who did what, where people should have been, why that play broke down. So yes, motherfucker, you do need to ask me why we lost. Because I know why we lost. But you're 100% right, nigga, my guy. It does happen. It does happen. But I also think that's because people just respect your opinion on the game. You feel me? Because if they didn't, they wouldn't care to ask you. It wouldn't be a question, but like, I'm talking to him for. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. He's like, yo, I know my guy know the Knicks because, and it all starts because y'all, it don't even have to be because they seen the pod. Y'all had conversations about the game, and they was like, oh shit, bro really know what he talking about. Sis really know what she talking about. So now when stuff happened, they think you the person they should go to.
I think it's hilarious. More often than not, I get a lot of people, and this is why I always respect Fraz for being the parlay lord. Now I always call him that. But when people come to me and ask me, is Josh Hart getting more than 4 rebounds? Is OG Anunoby getting more than 2 steals? And it's like, what? It's like, I'm doing the parlay, and then it's like, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So let's sit down. Let's chop it up. JB, good for 7 assists. And exactly what Big Daddy Prince says. We wear it as a badge of honor. And I think that my boy JSB, the Mad Hatter, he said it on our documentary. When we wear a Knicks jersey or a Knicks hat, it's not just a jersey. It is a uniform. It is a uniform. It is, something we carry with pride. We take the most amount of beatings, pause, in terms of the shit that we get in our own city. And yeah, we have to stomach that for 20, 30 years, since the curse of Patrick Ewing during the Melo years, and so on and so forth. So now that we're at the precipice or on the cusp of one, winning the NBA Cup, and two, going after the main goal of winning an NBA championship for the first time in 52 years. Yeah, I mean, there is a sense of pride. There is a sense of, of glory. And I mean, obviously all glory goes to the Lord, but you get to share in a little bit of that for just that, at least for the parade, at least for that parade.
So here's another thing too, right? Before we get into the final topic, because I definitely want to talk about this. It might be a but when you hear the topic, nigga Baka, just know there might be a case for you to have to press the button. The red button might need to be pressed. You know what I mean? But before we get there, right?
Yes, Batman.
It's like not only do people ask you like, about wins and losses, it's also when the Knicks lose and you're a Knicks fan and everybody in the world, like, and I'm not just talking about regular losses. I'm talking about like when we got bumped in the playoffs, right? Like, it's motherfuckers I didn't even know watching basketball.
Right.
That to be like, oh, but man, it's the Knicks. Oh, I'm like, yo, you watch sports? like, yo, homie, I've never heard you say a word about a basketball game. I'm see you every day. And I've never heard you utter any 2 words about any kind of NBA basketball ever. But now
I thought you were into anime or some shit. What the fuck?
Word, now that the Knicks lost, oh, bum ass nigga. So, yeah. So when people come to me and be like, yeah, I need to, why we lost, I'll take that as a badge of honor, because when we lose, I get berated by everyone. Yeah. You feel me? By everyone. It be women that I know you don't watch basketball. I know for a fact. You can tell the women who watch basketball and you can tell the women who don't, right? Sis obviously is an avid basketball watcher. Not only because
I think she's a basketball addict. That's really what it is.
A Knicks addict.
She's a Knicks addict.
Not only because you can see her, she's wearing Knicks gear probably more times than not. But when you hear the game spoke about, she knows what the fuck she's talking about. There be women that be like, who's that? What team they play for? But I've also seen them same women be like, oh, the Knicks lost. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You don't even watch the sport.
Those are what I call I want to be down people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, I get a whole different thing because I work from home, so I don't really interact with people. So my interactions are online, right? And that could be even worse. No, but like my family, they don't really watch sports like that, but they'll watch because they know I'm watching and they want to talk, especially like during the holiday time where that'll be the topic of discussion because they don't got nothing else to talk to me about. But even like when I go visit Frank's family and we are in New Orleans and they're like, oh, I watched the playoff game because I knew you was watching and I was rooting for the Knicks. People that don't normally watch basketball. So that's pretty dope for me. Just because I don't get that interaction like y'all. But I remember being in New York, it was exactly what y'all say. I wore Knicks gear probably every damn day in New York. Going to work, I had a hat on with my work clothes and and you would get that, oh, the Knicks suck, oh, they lost, or good game, oh, is this the year? And it's like, I'm just a fan just like y'all. I don't have no insight into this shit. I hope so. I hope this is the year. So I know what it is. I know when we were in New York, when I was in New York for the playoffs and the city was jumping, couldn't nobody say shit bad about the Knicks. You got on the train, it was good shit. You was down by the Garden in Harlem, everywhere. It was just good vibes. That's what makes us the best fans in the world, to be honest. That by itself, win or loss, we riding with them.
Yeah. Oh, I just muted myself. Quick take before we move on to this last topic. I'll say this about being in the city for that last playoff run. That shit outside of the Garden is some of the best times I've had as a New York Knicks fan. Like even though we weren't in the building, right? The energy outside of that place was fucking phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like being in the Garden. Aside from the fact that I get all the liquor I wanted to drink for liquor store prices. That was the beautiful part for me. Just to tell you, big bottle Henny on deck, for sure. I'm outside. I don't smoke, but I get my drink on. And then, people out there doing what they do. It is just like a big ass family event. People that's never even seen before. I seen like, yo, you smoke, yo, huh? that's how it was. It was beautiful. But moving along to this last topic because it's already late. I need y'all help on this one because I don't have the exact quote, but sis posted the link in the group chat. The conversation with Rich Paul. The conversation with Rich Paul. Who was interviewing again? I forget.
Max Kellerman.
Max Kellerman, another guy I dislike. Max Kellerman asked about LeBron James possibly waiving his no trade clause and come to the Knicks, and Rich Paul said something to the effect like, yeah, he can definitely help the Knicks. So obviously this is a conversation that they had. Obviously, LeBron James is not a fan of the situation that's happening in LA. Luka being a guy and him having to play third fiddle to AR-15. Yeah, AR-15. I'm not sure he's a fan of that. For that to even be a situation that Rich Paul will speak on, because normally he's usually super tight-lipped on things LeBron. I'm going to reserve my comments to the end because I know I'm going to be long-winded. And the Frank stand is going to be open for sure. But I already know what y'all going to say, but I need y'all opinion for the viewers. How do y'all feel about Rich Paul saying that, yes, LeBron can absolutely help the Knicks, almost kind of insinuating that is a strong possibility?
Fuck no. Zero chance. Absolutely not. If y'all thought I was adamant about the Giannis trade, I will motherfucking retire if the Knicks do something like this. And I'm going to tell you why. You, sir, LeBron James, had multiple opportunities to come to New York. You, sir, came to New York and made a spectacle of it and decided to go to Miami. And for that reason, you could keep your ass away from New York because now we don't want you. We don't want you. And you know what? You ain't built for this city. Because if you was built for this city, you would have came on your own in your prime and won a ring for this city. But since you a bitch and you chose elsewhere time and time and time again, stay your ass over there, be unhappy, and go retire.
Knickerbocker.
How do I follow that? Me. Rich Paul, you just, within the last 2 years, reconciled with Leon Rose, who currently is our president of basketball operations here at the New York Knicks. And we are happy to see that relationship be formed and bond and rekindled, or whatever the fuck it is that you guys do. Under no circumstance, sir, would any self-respecting New Yorker, not just the Knicks fan, I'm pretty sure even Brooklyn Nets fans won't even want this to happen. But why now? Is LeBron James getting waived by the Lakers and then signing a minimum contract? No. You're expecting for the New York Knicks, who currently sit at the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference with a record of 17-7, have team chemistry, synergy, and are starting to find their identity and are going to be competing for not just the NBA Cup, but then later down the road for the Larry O'Brien, aka the NBA Championship Trophy. And now, at 40 or 41 years old, I don't recall how old LeBron James is right now, because he's unhappy. He's 41. You want your client to move to New York. Could it just be because he thinks that he can win? Or is he really trying to find more votes in the GOAT category? Because that's really all that's left for LeBron. You're not going to catch Michael Jordan in terms of championships. You're not going to catch him in terms of legacy. You're not going to catch him in terms of global and just overall basketball impact. It's just not going to happen. You've come very close. Clearly, to me, second greatest player of all time. But there will always be number 1. And for you to now want to come to New York after how many years of you dissing us, not just the fans, but the organization and the game and everything. Maybe what the Lakers and Rich Paul and you should do is the sad thing that happened to Chris Paul a couple of weeks ago. Maybe you should just go home. Go back to Akron, go back to your house, your big ass mansion in LA, move to Canada, do something else. Because if you're not happy with the Lakers, one of the most storied franchises in all of basketball history, with the 17 NBA championships and all this other stuff, if you're not happy because now they're ready to move on from you, here's a tip from me, a New York fan, a New York Knicks fan, and a card-carrying very proud New Yorker. We moved on from you a long time ago. That door is closed. That ship has sailed. And I want you nowhere near Madison Square Garden except for the one game that we play the Lakers. And make it your last one. We don't want to see you anymore. So thank you very much. Good evening.
Your services are not needed in New York.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
I don't even think I want to see him when he come to play in New York. He just sit on the bench. It's fine by me. All right. This is where shit gets nuclear. Absolutely. Oh, press the button. Press the button. Press the fucking button. Absolutely. Frank Stan is open. If you got sensitive ears, put your motherfucking thing on mute because the Frank Stan is open. Frank stand is open. Rich Paul, you can eat a dick because I hate this ploy. This is nasty work. This is nasty work on your behalf. The Knicks are actually really good at basketball now, and now you trying to throw this monkey wrench in. Oh, yeah, they should trade for LeBron. Fuck that noise. Fuck that noise. Fuck LeBron. I've seen him play at 41 years old. I'm not trading nothing for that guy. I'm not trading nothing for that guy. Fuck that. Especially after when we, like everybody else on the panel said, you had opportunities to be here. You shitted. You shitted. If you've been asked a few times and you even scoffed at the idea, like, nah, I'm good, like type shit. But now all of a sudden, the curtain is finally closing. Your superpower, what the country, your favorite rapper superpowers is diminishing and he's now spiraling. Yes, that's happening to LeBron right now. He's not the guy no more. He's not even the top 2 players on his own team anymore. And that's okay because he's 40-something, he's 41 years old. And how the fuck I look like trading anybody on my team for a 41-year-old washed up superstar? I don't care at his age. Oh, he still be averaging 20 points a game at his age. I don't give a shit. I'm not trading nothing for that guy. I'm not. It's over. The curtain is closing. The sun is fucking setting. Ride off into the fucking sunset in LA, nigga. You're not coming here. You're not coming here. You're not coming here. And I know I won't say for a fact. But in my soul, in my heart, in the pit of my stomach, I know this is a ploy for you to try to become the greatest of all time. I know it's a ploy because if you are a part of a because you're not going to lead us to a ring, right? You're going to have to jump on Jalen Brunson's cape for you to get a ring if you come to New York. And then that ultimately would come. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Hypothetically, if it fucking happens, right? And he gets a ring in New York, he will be the greatest of all time. The Knicks ain't win a ring in fucking 50-something years. Even though he ain't spearheaded, but if he's here while a ring happens, he's going to be crowned the greatest of all time. And that's what they're looking for. They see the Knicks. As much as I dislike LeBron, he's a fucking student of the game. He watches a shit ton of film. He probably seen what New York is doing, see what we look like. He's like, yo, if I could get over there, I could probably help them win a championship. And then I would undeniably be the fucking GOAT. You can turn off the music. You can turn off the music. Then he'll be like, I'm undeniably the GOAT, right? And me as a Knicks fan, I for sure wouldn't argue that. I for sure wouldn't argue that at that point. But the moral of the story is, fuck you, LeBron. EAD for sure. For sure. Stay where you at, homie. Stay where you at. Help the Lakers lose more games because they were better without you. Be perfectly honest.
They were.
They were better without you. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then we can wrap it up. And I peeped some real sucker shit. Well, Hachimura hit that game winner after you sacrificed your 10-game winning streak, which is falsely advertised. This FYI. Let me educate the chat real quick. The real owner of the streak is still Michael Jordan. They cherry picked that stat. They altered it to be regular season games, omitting the playoffs altogether. So LeBron 1,000-something game streak omits the playoffs. Michael Jordan has 1,000 and something games, including the playoffs with games. I forgot exactly the number, but it's over 1,000 with game. Michael Jordan has over 1,000 games, including the playoffs, with 10 plus points per game. LeBron streak is ended years ago. I don't know the number on it, but it ended years ago. You know what I mean? And he doesn't have the record. So that's a cherry pick stat for LeBron that they're saying that he's so-called sacrificed. But when really he had a shit game. He was like 4 for like 15 or some dumb shit like that. So he didn't sacrifice anything. He sucked. He sucked that game. And the point that I was getting at, when he passed the ball and Hachimura shot, you can see LeBron walking on the other side of the court while the rest of the team is celebrating with Hachimura, jumping up and down, hugging him. LeBron didn't do that. He walked to the bench. And as the team went back to the bench, the rest of the team had to come to LeBron to celebrate. And that's when you see LeBron emoting. Ah! But it wasn't because Hachimura made the bucket. To me, that was an ego thing. I sacrificed, celebrate with me. You know what I mean? So fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. That's all I want to say. Fuck that guy. Let him stay where he at. You made that dumbass decision at the YMCA. Maybe you should go play for the YMCA because that's where you had the first decision. You won't play for anybody. Play for the fucking YMCA. You know what I mean?
The kids will love it.
Huh?
The kids will love it.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Fuck that guy.
But also, fuck Max Kellerman. Like, you call yourself a Knicks fan and you're baiting this bullshit. You don't speak for us real Knicks fans.
First of all, Max Kellerman is not a fucking Knicks fan. He
plays like he is. He tried to.
He could EAD too. For sure.
He tried to because he's like, well, we haven't seen a ring in 53 years. They won. He said, I was born in 73, but they won in August. No, they won in January, and I was born in August.
Yeah. So this is why I say Max Kellerman is not a Knicks fan. As long as I've seen Max Kellerman on TV. He's been ruthlessly hard on the Knicks in his reports. He's one of the people, the reason that Knicks and Ish exist. In the description of Knicks and Ish on the YouTube platform says that we have felt that the Knicks have not been getting a fair shake in the media in reporting. This is our attempt to balance the scales. Max Kettleman is a part of the fucking problem. I don't consider him a Knicks fan, just like I don't consider fucking Stephen A. Smith a Knicks fan. Because Max Kettleman was also one of the people who jumped ship when Brooklyn got fucking... Oh, matter of fact, Max Kettleman said he's not a Knicks fan anymore. Oh, he went to the Lakers. I remember. He said he's a Lakers fan. Fuck that guy.
Come on, son.
So now all of a sudden, yeah, let's get LeBron in New York. Let's start that. Man, EAD.
You're blasphemy.
EAD.
Blasphemous.
EAD. That I'm gonna try to be a little bit more, sensitive because we have women watching. I don't know if children are around. So I'm not going to say the whole.
He means eat a dick, ladies. He means eat a dick. He means eat a dick. He means eat a dick.
But EAD for sure.
The Lord's not done with me yet. So yeah.
Listen, that's legit my favorite line. That's legit my favorite line. The Lord not done with me yet because I'll be wilding. But Max Kettleman, fuck you. LeBron James, fuck you. And fuck you too, Rich Paul. You know what I mean? But even what I hate that, right? I hate that. I hate the fact that that's the other topic. I don't know if y'all want to do it because it's late. Knickerbocker Ave suggested why the Knicks fans are the greatest and the worst. We could save this for another time, or
I think we're gonna save this for the next show because I want all our subscribers to think about it because I want y'all to be ready because we're gonna go into detail about this definitely in our next game. Just looking at the schedule, the Knicks.
Saturday.
Oh, so we are playing Saturday. That's our absolutely next game.
Yeah.
So I thought we had one more before that. Oh no. Yeah, so Saturday the Knicks play.
are we sure? Because I know the Cup games are TBA, and the rest of the league is kind of not playing for this week, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So the next game is Saturday.
Okay. My fault.
5:30 on Prime.
5:30 on Prime. Yep.
Hi.
And then, so our next whole on the schedule game isn't until next Thursday, the Pacers,
Ooh.
because it's like a week off for the Cup.
All right, so I'll definitely, if it's Saturday, I'll definitely be around for that. But Gav, finish what you saying, Knickerbocker. I'm sorry.
Actually, no. So looking at that schedule after Orlando, after we put belt to ass to them, and we're into the championship game, and we take on the winner of the Western side, and we will see what happens. But until then, let's give subscribers, the chance to think about it. You'll have till Saturday, and we'll see how the Knicks fans, who we think are the greatest fans in the world, can also be the worst. That'll be the next topic on the next episode of Knicks and Ish.
But I think it's more games in this week because we play Magic. There's still another game on the East Coast because it's still Detroit and the Heat. I mean, Detroit and whoever the fourth team is.
No, it's the two West Coast teams now because it's four of us. So Orlando Heat, Orlando won. Then it was us and
See, it's four. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So now we waiting for what happens on the West Coast, and then
okay. I saw that.
I already could tell you who the finals is going to be, and this is going to be a real test. It's going to be a real test for us. It's going to be the Knicks versus OKC,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a real test for us. It's going to be a real chance for us to punch them in the mouth and let them know if we meet y'all in the finals, it's going to be a fight. Again, this is something that I've said about the OKC. If you could take their confidence, they are big on vibrato and aura. You know what I mean? That's the key to their success. Vibrato and aura. If you could take that from them, you have a real fighting chance. I'm not going to deny that team is talented. You don't know who's going to have a big night on that team, right? Obviously, Shea is the spearhead, but they have a bevy of people on their team that can have a big night, and that's how they win consistently. Because it could be anybody's night outside of Shea. Shea's going to get all the calls in the world, but outside of that, then you got Jay Will. That kid is phenomenal. You know what I mean? I knew that from his first year in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be a real test for us. You know what I mean? And even if we don't win the cup and we put up a fight and push them to their limits, that's exactly what I want to see. You feel me?
I think it's a good thing because we don't play them in the season until March. So it's kind of a good, okay, we see where we stand with them now, and then we see in March towards the end what the difference is.
Yeah, facts. That's something I agree upon. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Imagine if we played LeBron in that championship game.
Fuck that guy. Oh, if we play the Lakers, I won't say that because Luka be kicking our ass. Luka be kicking our ass. I'm more scared of Luka than anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's something when he see that orange and blue, Luka be like, yeah, I'm gonna go there for 60 tonight. I hate it. I hate it. And we talking about skinny Luka too. This is a different breed. We was getting cooked by fat Luka.
That's true.
This skinny Luka is different. I watched some of the Laker games. He moving different. he's officially unguardable. Like he's officially unguardable. So yeah, I don't want to see Luka in the cup. I actually rather see OKC in the cup. As crazy as that sound, even though they only lost one game this whole season. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I got. If y'all done, I'm done. Because we almost 2 hours in.
All right, folks. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight on Knicks and Ish. Be sure to, again, to like, comment, and subscribe. Sharing is always caring. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit up the Knicks and Ish Shopify right there. The link is scrolling at the bottom. And if you don't want to, copy it from there, it's in our description. If you just go to the channel, just click right there. It's all right there. We got some new stuff in there. You got that Garden Certified, which I still really like. The Fire Brunson is always a classic. The Bodega Cat, and of course, you can't ever go wrong with just the Knicks and Ish hoodie. Everything is there, and it's perfect for the holiday shopping. So if you got a special loved one or coworker, hook them up. We will be back here on Saturday night after the Knicks put belt to ass of the Orlando Magic in advance of the championship game for the NBA Cup. But until then, for the spark plug, the host himself, Tea Time, for the First Lady of Knicks and Ish, Mrs. Knicks, I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave, letting you know I'll be live on X Spaces tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So if you want to join in the fastest intelligent hour in all of basketball talk on Spaces, it's the only one that Mrs. Knicks will actually go to. So that's just to let you know how bad Spaces has gotten over time. But until then, Knickerbocker Ave signing out.
Hit that outro.